shout out the whole squad up here, man. It's dope that we're up in here. You know, we're able to do this. We're able to get this popping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Shit, I was trying to do this with Mike for a long time. Like, I approached Mike to do this about a year or two ago. We were going to do something similar at the Toronto Reference Library. We just didn't have the opportunity to. And then, like you said, we had a conversation about a week or two ago.
Yeah.
I think actually it sparked at the A. Wake show
Yeah,
with me.
yeah, it did, because I was live.
Yeah.
And then I actually asked you about some of the comments you had made, right? And then you went into discussion about it.
Yeah.
And then for the week to pass, I seen a couple actually myself.
Okay.
I was like, oh shit, I'm seeing this now.
You
and then you screenshotted a few and showed me and told me about a couple other people I knew in the industry. I'm like, what the fuck? So then I made a post and I'm like, all right, yo, it's time we just talk about this shit.
Yeah.
And so with that being said too, well, before we get into it, shout outs to homie Governor. He's talking to us right now.
No, what up, homie?
We'll just say what he said. He said, it said the word came from the Terran for the word Terra, from Terran from the word Terra, which means earth, meaning people from the earth. And when they wanted to wipe them out, they gave the word a different ending sound and meaning and description. I will get back to you on that info. Forgive me if I'm wrong. But in terms of war, we are going through a period of spiritual and mental war. This info is queued.
Yeah. No, that's dope. Yeah. We kind of are going through a transition period, you know, a mental awakening. And, you know, like I said, our generation, we can't rely on our parents no more. Our parents are damn near retirement age. You know what I'm saying? We can't say, oh, let our parents do it. We got to deal with it.
We got no choice.
We got to form the world into the direction that we want to form it. And, you know, as I was saying earlier, I was saying to Mike when you were out of the room, literally for a lot of people of color in this country, or in North America, we should say, if you're between the ages of 35 to, let's say close to 50, chances are you are one of the first non-segregated, or first born in a non-segregated nation. You know what I'm saying? Like, our parents were born into some form of segregation. So if we are first generation non-segregated, truly 100% equal in the eyes of the law, not the eyes of the particular individual, but the eyes of the law according to the law of the land, we have to protect that particular
Definitely.
law. You know what I'm saying? We have to protect that because that means something.
That's,
you know
that's
what I mean?
infant.
We are the recipients of something that is, you know, very, very important. So we have to kind of protect that, you know, and I think that is very much a part of spiritual awakening that as people were kind of all going through, you know what I mean? It's just, you know, some of us are realizing, hey, we got to protect this, and others want to fight that. Others still want the ability to lord over the land and lord over other people. And it's like, nah, you know, that time's done. You know what I mean? Like, we're cool, man. You know what I'm saying? Sit down, crack a beer, smoke a joint. Let's get it in together, or, you know, get the fuck out of here. You know what I mean? That's kind of where I feel like it's at.
And do you guys think that slavery and racism has capitalist roots?
Yeah, absolutely. $1 trillion nations have been founded upon
exactly.
slavery.
Now, the thing I find crazy is that the people, I guess it's anything. It's like propaganda, right? You can get anybody to agree with anything as long as you can convince them and they're stupid enough.
Right.
But the thing I find crazy is like the people in our modern time still actually hold on to these racist ideologies and thoughts, and like it's like do you not understand, like, and this is why, like, when we were talking about the, you know, freedom of speech and stuff, I almost said it's different when you have someone like Alex Jones doing what he does, and if you had somebody up there just spewing like Hitler type Nazi fucking racial, like let's kill, you know, American history X type shit. There's a difference, because at the end of the day, we're all fucking people. As racism only exists as much as we allowed to perpetuate it.
Absolutely.
Like, you know what I mean? Once we put it behind us, it no longer exists. Once we're all just, we're people. And the thing that's real is classism. That's what's very real. So it boggles me how people are so fucking stupid that they follow something as stupid as racism, and don't even look in the direction of classism.
But it's most of them are kind of packaged
they're kind of they are tied together. Especially if you look at Asia and you look at other places around the world, how classism and racism are tied together is skin tone. The lighter you are, the more you were assumed to be someone who's rich, who hasn't had to work all day in the fields of the barrio. Absolutely. Abso-fucking-lutely.
Oh, shit.
So, you know, especially, like, I know it's huge in Asia. We're seeing it in the Caribbean right now with a lot of skin lightening creams.
I was just actually going to talk about that. I seen Godfrey promoting some, or not promoting, but
you're trying to say get away from
he was in India, and he's like, I seen people walking up to the counter just like, hello sir, like some of the skin lightening cream, and like buying it like cigarettes and shit.
Absolutely.
I didn't even realize they have that in Thailand too.
In Thailand.
It's crazy.
And because the notion is that the lighter skin you are in those countries, the the wealthier you are. You haven't slaved all day in the fields. You haven't worked. You're not from the barrios. You're not from the ghettos. You're not from the slums.
Yeah.
You're wealthy. And then if you look at, like, for example, the Philippines, I have a lot of Filipino friends, Filipino girlfriend. And, if you look at their media, a lot of their people are very light. Very, very light-skinned, very half Spanish. And, because, again, it's assumed that's what the beauty standards are based on.
Kind of like how, like, some Middle Eastern countries look at people who are overweight. Like that's beauty because it's
and that's
a sign of wealth.
Complete, contradiction to the two, right? You look at some of these, like you said, some of these Middle Eastern countries where these people are drinking a ton of milk. And to the point where I've seen some documentaries where mothers break their daughters' fingers when they start throwing the milk up. So if you look at a lot of those people, you look at their fingers are all messed up. And it's because, especially the women, the mothers would break their fingers. It's a tradition, it's a practice. And, it's really weird. They want to be more plump because, like you said, that shows that, they have money. I remember there was this Chinese guy who, I shouldn't say Chinese, he was from Hong Kong, so Chinese, but he ran this computer spot in Malvern Mall for years. It was called Supercomputer Hour when I was growing up, and that's where we go at lunchtime and waste all of our money. I don't know if you've ever been there, if you knew abs or not, but so we would spend all of our money there, and his teeth were fucked. His teeth were like brown, yellow, all just fucked up. And, I was like, Abs, why are your teeth so fucked up? And he's like, hey, I started smoking when I was 5. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yo, at them times, I don't think now, but in those times in Hong Kong, you smoked and you had your teeth all fucked up. It was a sign you had money. You had money to smoke all day, right? So
that's crazy.
That is
crazy.
When you learn those things and cultural differences.
And then over here, if you're fat, like, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you're looked at like, yo, stop eating McDonald's.
Right. Yeah, no, absolutely.
But I mean, that really is the root of our problem over here, is not enough activity and too much lounging around. You know what I mean?
We don't see kids playing in the street anymore.
Yeah. No, that's crazy.
When's the last time you seen kids playing in the street?
Really, man.
Hardly ever.
My parents didn't want me in the house. It's probably because my dad might have been smoking a joint or something.
Same. My parents are like, get the fuck out of the house. We're having time with Norm.
If it was after 10 a.m., it was like, did you have breakfast? Yeah. Did you do your chores? Yeah. Get the hell
Why
out
are you
there
still
and
home?
play.
Why are you still home?
Kids, now you can't do that because now if you send a kid to the park and no parents there to watch a kid, the cops get called.
Yeah. True.
You can't even let kids be kids anymore. You
Times
can't let them
too
go outside
PC
and play.
nowadays. Yeah. And actually, we should talk about that. Before we get into that, the one thing I want to make a point of that I find so fucking ironic and fucking hilarious at the same time. Well, not even hilarious, but just ridiculous. Is the fact?
On there?
Yeah, I can see myself kind of. Yo, what's up, people? You know what I mean? But the one thing I find so fucking ridiculous too is that, like, you got all these countries, they got these skin lightening cream and stuff. Oh, light is more beautiful. Yet any white person I know tries to tan as much as they fucking can because they think being darker is more beautiful. So what the fuck kind of a contradiction is this shit? It's basically it's
everybody just wants to be everyone else or just wants to hate everyone.
Grass is greener on the other side. Right? And you know what? That's what fuels a capitalist economy to pump people with shit they don't need. Well, you know what I mean? When people have everything they need, well, then you gotta give them shit they don't need.
Exactly.
And fucking.
Exactly.
What better than a war you can't fight? You're either never fucking light enough or you're never dark enough.
Yeah, you can never be satisfied with who you are, or you love yourself so much that you hate all those fucking people over there. And it's just constant going. You know what I mean? We need more balance.
Yeah.
We need more fucking, more balance, man. Like I feel like, fuck, man. Give me your fucking, give me your butter chicken. I'll give you my hockey all day.
Well,
that's what I think. You know what I'm saying?
I don't even like hockey.
I always said I'm not even really a hockey fan either, but the Leafs are gonna kick ass this year. So
I heard
smash this year. But I always have a theory that you could get and maybe this is more towards men. I'm not a woman, so I don't know. But I always had a theory that you could kind of get a group of 10 men. They could be all from different places of the world. Throw them in a garage with a case of beer or, if they don't drink, something that they do like, maybe a little bit of herb. Throw a TV in there with one sport, whether it's soccer, whether it's football, whether it's baseball. 8 out of 10 of those guys will bond around that sport.
Yeah.
8 out of 10. The other 2 will just sit there quiet and be like, I don't like this shit. But 8 out of 10 guys will have moments where they'll be like, hey, that was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
And
good point.
They'll remember that. You know what I mean?
And that's one thing I do like about sports, because one thing I've always, when I was younger, I used to hate on sports, right? Mm-hmm. And people who watch them, like all my friends growing up, always watch them and shit. I would just be sitting there making beats, writing hip hop, listening to songs, be like, yo, turn that down. I want to hear the announcer. I'm like, oh, fuck you, go watch sports somewhere else, right? You know what I mean? And but my thing always is because it's one of those things where, once again, in a capitalist society, sports is entertainment. It's a distraction, right? Like, in medieval times, they had what was called bread and circuses, right?
Yeah.
And that was when, at the Coliseum, everybody worked for the state or the city or whatever. And at the end of the day, opposed to like gathering with other people and having discussion that meant something, you could all go down to the fucking Coliseum and watch people on pole vaults and stab each other and shit like that. And just like, and they would give you free food and they'd give you free booze. So it was called bread and circuses.
Watch a guy battle a tiger.
That's what happened every night. Yeah, exactly. And that's where the ideology of sports comes from today. Except the only difference is we pay for it. We pay for that entertainment. We pay for that distraction from society.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, that's the flip side. It brings us together, but it also distracts us from shit too.
Yeah,
right. It's super weird.
And I always hated it for that reason. But as I've got older, exactly what you said is the reason why I appreciate sports, because it gives something to people.
Yeah.
Maybe people don't like music. Maybe they don't like. You know what I mean? Or there's so many different kinds of music that can segregate people. But sports is one thing that unites all different people of all different walks of life.
Absolutely has the ability to do so.
Like, it's stronger than hip hop in that sense.
Yeah.
Well,
it predates hip hop, so
it brings people together, but it doesn't bring them together. I mean, like, you're in the same building and everything. But
well, look at Toronto FC fans, what they did in Ottawa a couple weeks when they torched the fucking stadium, right? Like, they started a little bit of a fire up there. So I think TFC had to cancel their privileged fan passes for like, outside games or whatever. Wow. But soccer is, amazing for that shit. But
that's what it is.
You see riots, you see people doing all types of like fucked up shit, right? That's soccer.
Yeah. That's crazy.
But it's crazy because with it could be one of two things. You could either have, that bonding experience, or, you look at European soccer, you have that whole hooliganism culture where they're just kicking each other's ass. Yeah. And I think like, some of the Toronto FC fans try to import that a little bit. They kind of try to, bring that to the Ottawa game.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't know. I've never been to a TFC game, but, I think I should go to one now. I definitely want to go to one now.
And actually, what you said, too, actually is an interesting point that made me think, too. Why is it that people who like sports, they're like the biggest revolutionaries in Western culture than any of us? These like motherfuckers... Athletes? Well, no, the fucking fans. They'll torch a stadium. They'll riot the streets when their team wins. But yet, we can't fucking come together and make a fucking change or fight for a cause that means fucking squat. But if the World Series gets won 2 years in a row, we're flipping cars and torching fucking downtown. You know what I mean? Like,
and they're only doing it for that reason. They're not doing it for a cause.
For no revolutionary cause.
But when it comes to a cause, they'll be like, no, that's wrong.
No, exactly.
The sports riots. Fuck, you did it for no reason.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, the sports riots are always something where
you could call it terrorist.
Exactly.
Right?
It's fucking ridiculous.
There's no point. Like, there's really no point to a sports riot. You know what I mean?
No,
like, my team won. Let's go flip shit.
Absolutely.
But it's accepted.
Yeah. It's more accepted than actually gathering a group of people and doing something for a cause.
Yeah. No, absolutely. It's so weird, man. Our culture is so
It's so fucked up. It's ass backwards.
It kind of is.
It's absolutely ass backwards. But to even get Western civilization to where it's been so far off of all the bloodshed and everything it's built on, everything's got to be ass backwards. You can't dare teach people the way shit's supposed to be, or else we look at our whole existence like, what the fuck?
Yeah, exactly.
No, absolutely. And that's why I think we need to really rebrand the word America.
Yeah.
If you actually understand what the word America means, it means the New World.
Yeah.
And America itself on a map stretches from the top of Canada to the bottom of South America.
Yeah.
So, including the Caribbean. Right, including the islands as well.
I never thought of that. That's probably why they own all these stupid niche places that do nothing for the country.
But if you
just the map space, like it's literally, I never thought about that. That's crazy.
If we rebrand the name America and what it means, which is New World, and we look at the people who helped create the Americas, whether it's through bloodshed, whether it was through genocide, slavery, anything like that, we all kind of came together, and we created this literal New World called America.
Yeah.
Now we are in Canada, which is part of North America, but we need to rebrand the word America to educate people, to let them know that America means New World, and all of our hands had some type of form, shape, or hand in building this up to what it is today.
What certain people don't believe is true.
Fuck those people.
But that's the whole point. Like,
no, exactly.
Certain people have their viewpoint of what this is,
what
how it was
created,
and
society,
who contributed and who didn't.
Right.
Not knowing that a lot of groups contributed,
Absolutely.
but at the same time, we contributed, but a lot of people suffered because of the contribution.
Yeah,
and that's the fucked up part about it.
Absolutely. And that's why I said we need a rebrand of the word America. We need people to understand that the word America literally means New World, and that America stretches from the top of North America to the bottom of South America. So when we say America, or we're specifically speaking about the U.S., we need to say the United States of America, because that's all they are. They're a collective group of states who bonded together to form one country, And when we could rebrand that word, we could actually do a lot, a lot more, you know what I mean? So it's really interesting, and I think we just need to kind of educate people on that, and again, change how we use that word, because we'll start to change how we look at ourselves. You know what I mean? If we start to say that we are all American, then our petty differences shouldn't really matter, right?
They're still gonna matter.
They'll find something else. You're wearing Nikes, I'm wearing Reeboks. They'll find something else.
As long as we allow media to perpetuate what we should be thinking, then there will never be true unity.
But unfortunately, we are now a part of the media.
This is true, but that's why
we are now either part of the problem or part of the solution.
Well, and that's why I wanted to do this, because I believe in trying to be part of the solution, and I don't think enough people do.
Absolutely,
and I don't think really anybody does. You have your groups, like especially like us in the urban community, like we look at a place like the Breakfast Club or like Vlad TVs or like that kind of shit, and they'll have the dudes up there once in a while, like Umar Johnson or like Brother Polite or like like sometimes they got their people up there, who really represent like some social awareness and stuff like that, but there's nobody who actually like just dedicates the time to actually being that, you know what I mean? There's no we don't have any programs that like we can go listen to, unless it's somebody like Alex Jones, where you don't know what the fuck you're hearing, you know what I mean? But you can't go anywhere and hear progressive conversation, and so that's why I think it's really important for this. Like, and even when we started No Condom Podcast, I jumped at the idea because I thought it would give me an hour every 2 weeks to sit and like talk politics and sit and talk like conspiracies and talk about like economics and historical economics and shit like that, and like shit that affects us and how we are here, and like, but Eddie, no disrespect, shout out to Eddie G, shout out to you, whichever one you're watching on,
shout out
if you're watching, but disrespects, I love the homie Eddie. That's
I want to engage in a conversation.
I want to engage in conversation, right? But what I'm turning into is just basically guy talk, which is great. I love joking around too.
Absolutely.
But that's why I thought something like this was important. And you two are dudes that, I always see pushing that agenda of, you're always pushing ideologies and ways of thinking.
Right.
And Stoan is always pushing thing. He'll say something on Facebook, which I had to learn over time, but he'll say something that isn't even something he believes.
Right.
Yeah.
He'll just ask the question to ask the question and push the issue.
Get the conversation started.
You're
the
good
dialogue.
at that, bro. Honestly, like you're good at that. And I think we were talking earlier, about the troll games, you know what I'm saying? And you're definitely really good at trolling, man.
I've been practicing since I was a kid.
But you know what? I don't even call it trolling with Stoan, though. You know what I mean? Because I
playing devil's advocate.
At first, I did call it trolling. I was like, Stoan is a master troll. But after time, I really learned. I'm like, this guy's trying to push dialogue.
Right.
That like get people talking. Exactly. You know what I mean? And that's one thing I really appreciated by it. So then, once we started talking and stuff, I was like, it only makes sense if we could have Stoan here. So I'm glad that we could come together and do this.
No, absolutely, absolutely. And it's just to show people that we can talk, we have something to say.
Yeah.
And that we are willing enough to kind of be responsible. You know what I mean? Willing enough to be responsible for our generation and where we're heading. Because a lot of people don't want to take responsibility.
Yeah. No.
A lot of people just perceive us to be dumb, and a lot of people just perceive us to not really care about what's going on in the world. And like I was saying earlier, the fact of the matter is we can't rely on our parents anymore. We are of that age, you know what I'm saying? We're of the age where we have to start taking control. We have to start taking power. We have to start taking initiative.
Yep.
If we want change in our neighborhoods, we have to find out who our councilmen or councilwomen are.
Yep.
We have to send them letters. We have to get the petitions going. Like, that's our jobs at this particular time. We can't allow other people to just do it and put the onus on them.
No.
We are fully grown adult men, women now. We have to take some type of responsibility for the society and the direction it's going. And if we want to shape it a particular way, then we need to take it upon ourselves to do that. We need to organize.
Yeah.
We need to absolutely start organizing ourselves better and showing that we can be organized people. We can be adults for the most part. We can still have fun. We can still go party and do whatever we want and, drink and smoke or whatever. But there comes a time where we got to be adults. And I just think that that's where we're at right now. And, we're showing that we got more on our mind than just the music and just the beef and just the bullshit that's out there.
Yeah.
We want to, like I said, we want to talk about the issues. So shout out to all the people who've watched.
Yep.
We want to see your questions. We want
anybody
you guys
got
to
questions.
like we're on multiple platforms right now. This is Facebook Live over here. Facebook Live can't see. But we
got
over
Facebook Live on my phone here too. We got Instagram Live on the other phone there too. You know what I'm saying? Dustin's live on YouTube and on YouTube, Facebook Live. So we want to hear you guys question stuff.